Man, Caitlin Clark can't buy a bucket of respect in this league like Angel Reese can't buy a layup. It's insane. And I went in and I looked up some things about um, the stats in the WNBA and what these so-called legends did. Because I remember I seen I think AK Nation or Arc Nation. He made some videos about how Caitlin was able to easily break these records because the records in the WNBA are weak as fuck, and these bitches was doing nothing, pretending that they need all this respect and they're being destroyed and tormented by Caitlin fans. Nah, y'all was doing nothing. All right, it's bugging you because she's gonna come in and easily take all your records and be, the face of women's basketball. So you can't deal with that. So you have to call nitpicky fouls and complain about dumb shit. And that's what y'all are all about. All this petty ass behavior. Get jealous because your careers never went nowhere and you didn't make nothing shake. You're forgettable. And like the little, gnats that y'all are. You want to take shots and unfortunately you have an easy target to just continuously whip. Caitlin Clark. She's willing to be a mule and take this abuse that y'all are throwing out. And I just seen because I made another video earlier before I saw this uh, Jason Whitlock video that he put out, or there's a couple of the videos that Jason Whitlock just put out. He goes scorch earth. He's talking about the Caitlin Clark Six. He named the coaches and the assistant coaches on the Indiana Fever that's out here sabotaging Caitlin Clark, and they're doing everything in their power to make it so that Stephanie White and all the others can get the glory. These other players on the team can get the glory while Caitlin gets the criticism. Imagine that you play it hard like a motherfucking college, and you try to bring it, competitiveness to women's basketball and put women's basketball on the map. And the thanks you get is these fucking pieces of low life garbage, um, coming out here and treating you like you're underneath them and pushing you to the back and making you play boring, something nobody came to see. You know what I mean? How and then these other players that are coming in, they're talking to them with respect. They're not getting this double, getting doubled everywhere they go the whole game. They're not getting these unnecessary fouls, put on them. They're not being screwed over. Like they're getting a nice welcome to lead. They'll get also being allowed to play the way they want to play for the most part, man. And Keelan can't get that every fucking other day. It's something else. It's wham, wham, wham. And all these fucking vultures that are surrounding the media and their own mind, trying, and all these different apps trying to spread a bad narrative, what I'm saying, are part of this campaign to slander Caitlin Clark. And every year, that she's been in the WNBA, they've come in and try to figure out a new way to limit her, make it seem like she's not really all that. You know what I mean? And they're trying to make it seem like, oh, this is the competitive thing to do because that's what we do. Like, no, you don't do that. You weren't doing that before she got there. There's no video of y'all playing 94 feet of defense all day on Diana Taurasi or Sue Bird or none of them. All right? And still with that, she outscored them and did better than them in their rookie years. And y'all still acting like you don't know what's going on. That's why, when they disrespected y'all back in the day, I would laugh at some of the jokes. I'm like, maybe these are just nice women, man. You don't need to bother with them. What I'm saying? I'm like Kayla. I could be naive. I could be a nice guy. Too much, too often. Give people too much room, and you think people are gonna return the favor and be nice to you back, man. But no, you learn over and over in life that people will shit on you. They'll take your niceness and then yank it, and they try to pull you around for what they can get out of you. All right, they don't respect. They don't respect you as a person. They think they can walk all over you. They take you for a pushover. And that's what Kaylin is experiencing. She's an absolute pushover. And Jason Whitlock is, he was right on the money, man. But everything he said in his videos, yo, y'all gotta watch. Go to his videos. Pretty sure he got a YouTube channel. He's talking about what's going on with Kaylin Clark and how these six individuals were sabotaging her. Because, I just been like thinking, like, damn, like every year, they complain about something or trying to use something to hold it against her. What is going on? And then, we criticize the other players, then no, no, now it's racism. Oh, you can't do that. You're bothering these players now. And like I said, that's why they deserve more bullying. They all deserve the injury treatment because we laugh at injuries for layups, but most of them play are like that. They miss wide open layups, and we need to go in on them more. Scorched earth, destruction, um, nothing left to survive, burn everything in sight. Um, we need to be on these holes like a motherfucker. All right, because that's what they're doing. They're spreading some nasty, nasty narratives online. You always got and you got these all these different dumbass accounts. Like on Twitter, you got trendy hoops. This is some little fucking goofball that always puts out negative stuff about Caitlyn and won't talk about anything positive. And but we know we'll mention it, all these other different players and hype up the things they've done. You got that. Cheryl Swoops type behavior. Just hating on everything Caitlyn does. Lying about her and making it seem like she's a bad person. All these people all around, talking about how they are really the ones who changed women's basketball. And, you can't put Caitlyn in that light because she's not really all that. And she's not really doing anything until she breaks records. So then you got realize you got to slow her down. That's what y'all doing. And you think we can't see. And y'all some low down scumbag, bottom feeding bitches, man. They got to get rid of your league. I want the NBA to lose so much money that they have no choice but to drop y'all. No more tax write-offs with the WNBA. They need to drop y'all. And I hope y'all get those new teams and they fucking flop. You know what I'm saying? Keeping this shit going. This anti-Caitlin Clark narrative that is fake news. And y'all gotta get torn down. I hope all them teams fail. Waste all the money and motherfucking all these fat lesbian fans gotta walk home miserable, crying. Man, wait. You know what I'm saying? This league's a shit show. Uh, they don't want to get it together. They can't get it together. They have fake people running things in the league. They expose how all these people connected. Everybody's in this organization is just somebody. They were many of them were playing on the Indiana Fever and involved in something in Indiana. They knew, they know some people from playing with each other in other moments of their basketball career. You know what I'm saying? So um, that's what we got going on. These individuals are all linked up, all together, buddy, and they don't really care about seeing, Caitlin Clark succeed out there. They don't really care too much for that. They don't care too much. They don't care for Caitlin Clark at all. Her fan base and what they feel about Caitlin Clark. They just want to use it for their narratives and throw it to the wolves. And there's some nasty people, pretending they have love and that they give a damn. They do not give a fuck about her, and she needs to. She's gonna need some intervention, man. 'Cause I don't think and she's gonna be in the loony bin if she continues to try to make excuses for these people because they are going to wear her ass out. Her trying to play in this bullshit system that they have her uh, in to try to expose her. You know what I'm saying? They're having a system, so see they're playing games. They're playing games with her career. They put her in a system where it's meant for her to have all the weaknesses exposed. You know what I'm saying? This is like anti-culture. They're doing everything to anti-culture and make her, seem like an embarrassment. Make her seem uncultured. Make her seem like she's some buffoon, big mouth that know-it-all that just wants to argue and be, you know, despicable towards coaches and have a nasty attitude. They want that. They have to get their narrative. And that's why she needs to fucking leave this team and drop them in the dust. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, the people in her life were some weak, spineless people. Um, yeah, her dude, you're a weak dude. You're like a couch surfer, man. You're the second fiddle. You're just trying to get a job so you don't sleep on the couch. You know, um, I don't know, man. Like, you're not saying anything that needs to be said. You're like, she doesn't want to. I guess she doesn't want to say anything, and be perceived a certain way. But enough is enough. Someone needs to open their mouth. You can't just keep doing stuff like this. People think, oh, she just lost the height. No, it's like y'all have been robbing us of the light, the passion, man. This is not like a genuine, like, oh man, this is going down. Like, and fuck everybody. Like, fuck Jeff Teague. Fuck all these bitch ass, goofy ass niggas. Fuck that donkey ass nigga, Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all these goofy ass dudes and bitches who want to go out here and continue, feeding into these lies and perpetrating this idea of all these false narratives about Caitlyn. Like I said in my other video, I came here to watch some good basketball, and y'all giving me a whole bunch of fucking nasty shit, man. I just came here to watch, try to see how remarkable this woman would be in the WNBA, and y'all gave me this shit, man. Like I said, I didn't think y'all would be this big of a bunch of low lies, but man, now I'm seeing it. Yeah, y'all are fucking disgusting. Like Angry Fan Soups be going in on y'all all the time. But I gotta say more like, yo, like y'all are fucking disgusting. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. You're low lives, you're good for nothing, you don't deserve none of this shit. You don't respect the platform that you're on as a professional athlete. You know what I'm saying? You don't deserve to be considered a professional athlete. You don't meet any of your standards. No one cares about you enough. You know, more popular people play in the fucking raggedy basketball courts and bad neighborhoods than y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are some bums. You're clearly confused. You think this is some charity basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting these stats out. Certain things out in this video to show how easy it'd be for Caitlin Clark to be an all-time player. In the WNBA, just off of if she played like she played in a rookie season, which to me, you know, she would go beyond that if she had a fucking actual coach that put her in the system. Like, just let her play her game. You know what I'm saying? Have some players that's gonna cooperate. None of this fucking nonsense, man. She had that. Forget what she did her rookie year, man. She really averaged a triple double. Like, she easily be able to fucking get all the assists, get the rebounds, and get, obviously she can get more 10 points like with her eyes closed. And she fucking be not averaging 30 points a game. You know what I'm saying? These other players would be fucking looking like shit. The narratives would fall apart. And that's what these people want. And that's what Caitlin Clark's giving them. So, just thinking about everything all these YouTubers have said, and I've been looking at it, I'm like, I don't know how she's gonna get out of this. I don't know how she's gonna get out of this type of situation. She's about to drown with Stephanie White, man. She wants to be loyal to this fucking nobody ass bitch. This bitch had nothing going on in her career. She averaged 5 points in her career. Yeah, 5 points a game. A loser like that is trying to talk to Caitlin Clark about her weaknesses, man. Get the fuck out my face, bro. And you might be thinking, man, there's some, many times, when former players become coaches, they're the ones that's on the bench and they're not really scoring like that. And it's like, yeah, I get it. That does happen. You know, but the NBA is a whole different game. Like, the dude that scores, 5 points a game, he had to really, you know, you know, bust his ass just to get into the league to be a guy behind the guy just to get a chance to play at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? He's not taking like 10 shots. Averaging 2 points and then busting his ass. Taking 15 fucking shots a game to get 5 points a game, to average 5 points a game. With nobody, you're not getting double teams at all. These players are putting up less points than Caitlin Clark without no double team, without nobody, constantly coming out, hacking and hand checking and grabbing and all that. They're not eye gouging, nothing. So you must put Caitlin Clark's abilities and performance in the WNBA perspective. Do not compare it to none of these players. None of them are getting double teamed like that. None of them have to constantly get, break through all these kinds of uh, uh, defensive schemes in order to fucking, get themselves a bucket. All right. So her points are not the same as everybody else's points. You cannot talk about what she does and put her next to Paige Beckers or Angel Reese or none of these fucking other chicks, man. They get to deal with regular shit. And then every day, other game, she has some type of, you know, player that tries to do some goofy shit and get attention. These hoes, these are some attention hungry hoes, man. They've been begging for some attention. But unfortunately, they only know how to get toxic attention. They don't know how to get genuine love from people. And, that's just never going to last, Like, not being able to get genuine attention and just resorting to negativity, that's easy. You have to keep doing that. It's like a drug. It's a little cheap, fake drug that's bad for you because it's going to hurt you in the long run. Because it's not real fame. You know, these players have, they want to get out here, see Caitlyn, they get all mad and start doing goofy stuff to try to make it look bad. And then if she outplays them, then they go to social media and they make stuff up. Oh, she did this. Caitlyn needs to apologize because this player's mad at her and lied about her. Oh, look at that. It's a whole story. We have to waste our time reporting a bunch of bullshit. And that's what they're doing. And now they're using, now this year they're using these defensive schemes to get her in foul trouble. And then use it to say she's unplayable. She can't play defense. Take her out. Make Raven Johnson the starting point guard and put Gillian on the bench. That's what they're going to do. And Caitlin Clark's just going to take it. And her career is just going to drift away to sea because she won't open her mouth and she wants to be, you know, a passive person. She wants to let other people take the driver's seat and take her career and make other people get attention off of her instead of saying putting her foot down and going, no, 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 no. You don't do that to me. Don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. It's my career. Don't be out here trying to badmouth me. Don't make stuff up about my fans. She won't say anything. She just wants to sit there and take it. So I understand the fans that are pissed off too, man. Like they're like, yo, Caitlyn, what's good? Are you gonna say something about how they doing you wrong? No, they're doing you. You think they're doing you right? You insane? She just goes along with it, whatever they say, man. Just no spine. And so, man, like I said, she did not get her hype ruined because of bad basketball on her behalf. They spent the whole second year lying, saying she was going to come back. She wasn't coming back, and they knew it. And they just drove everyone in, kept everyone trying to get tickets off of them, and that turned a lot of people off. That was disrespectful. And once again, that shows you don't respect the fans. You think you can just do a little cheap stuff to lie to the fans, and get money from them, and you don't really like these fans. Which is why you do these disrespectful things and you don't apologize. This is a league that doesn't deserve fans, and they've been, you know, they've rightfully been a joke for a long time, and they do not deserve this type of hype. So once again, Caitlyn, you need to open your mouth and let them know that these bums should not be out here trying to use you and manipulate you, and make you seem to be some terrible, uncultural person. I mean, that's not who you are. And you bum ass people in the media and losers that's all online trying to cloud chase and spread fake racism narratives and fake make her seem to be some type of tyrant player, you know some out of touch middle American white girl that thinks she can just do whatever she wants. You come out all these weird narratives because y'all are retarded. You're a loser, you're a weirdo. But we don't do anything we don't tell weirdos they're weird anymore. So now people just say anything they feel like, without flinching, without feeling like they're gonna get bullied. So y'all would just get out here and say goofy, weird things and with no hesitation. And, someone like, me and these others have to come out and get on y'all. Saying y'all got to stop with these fucking fake narratives. Uh, saying she's not any of the things you're trying to say. And, there's no, Caitlin, you have no friends on your team and in the media. Watch everybody's on the team. Don't tell them everything. You cannot trust Leah Boston. Fuck all that. I know some Fever fans like her. I didn't give a fuck about none of these people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it is what it is. I'm out.